Alright, so today's video is going to be just a little bit different. We have a couple different things pulled up here that we're going to try and talk about. But the main focus of this video is going to be the response to a very popular group of content creators, if you want to call them that, doing a podcast interview with Benjamin Netanyahu. And for those of you who might not be familiar with this group, this is a group of content creators called Nelk here on YouTube. They have a podcast channel called Full Send Podcast. These guys are pretty popular. They used to be, I mean, they're still pretty popular, but they used to be super popular back in the day. And the reason that they're popular is because they made shitty prank videos. You know, those old school YouTube prank videos, Coke prank on cops. You guys may have probably seen these in the past, especially if you've been on YouTube for a long time. Full Send in the Middle East, taking 5 virgins to a college party, 7 ways to compliment boobs. Just, you know, garbage gutter content, you know, whatever. Again, they do have 8 million subscribers. Their Full Send podcast is, you know, they really focus on that mainly now. I'm pretty sure they post content on their main channel every once in a while. That doesn't even matter. 2 days ago, no, 1 day ago, yesterday, excuse me, they posted the Benjamin Netanyahu interview to their podcast channel. And as you can see, and these guys are pretty well respected within their own community. You know, their audience loves pretty much everything they do. This video has 126,000 dislikes and only 28,000 likes. That's pretty massive. That is a very, very, very extreme difference in likes to dislikes. And down here in the comments, they're getting cooked, as the kids would say. Unsubscribed. I miss when YouTube used to show dislikes. Today we interviewed Hitler and we asked what his favorite color is. You guys didn't question him once. This is crazy. Israel's so desperate for positive PR, they sent their prime minister to a podcast with a bunch of pranksters, asking him if he prefers Burger King or McDonald's while people are starving. This is insane. And the reason that people are cooking him, and we do have just a really short clip we're going to watch here, and then we're going to get into some numbers and some other stuff, is because these guys don't care, right? I fully believe that they had no idea what they were doing. They are not qualified to talk to an individual like this. But this is pretty much how the entire interview went. This is, I'm assuming, one of the only serious questions that was even asked, but it doesn't really matter that they even asked it because they just let Netanyahu say whatever the fuck he wants with literally zero pushback, no questions, no, hey, I heard this, or hey, this is obviously not true because we have evidence to back it up. So let's see the Nelk Boys ask Bibi Netanyahu about the very real, very horrifying, very disgusting starvation of the Palestinian people. Let's see what they have to say and what Netanyahu's response is.
Why do they say Israel's like starving the people of Gaza?
Well, because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in, and guess what happens when we let them in? Hamas steals the food, takes the good chunk for itself, then they jack up the prices, and then they sell the food to its population, to its hungry population, if they give them at all, and then use the money that they take from their own people to recruit more killers into their terror machine.
Why do they say Israel?
So that was some pretty great Israel PR. You know, I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I want to say is Netanyahu. I don't know the exact number. I don't have it pulled up, the exact number of Hamas members. But I find it hard to believe that the 15,000 or so, I think that's a ballpark number. It might be a little more, might be a little less. I honestly don't know. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that, please. I don't think that Hamas is stealing food, that is supposedly stealing food for over 2 million people. Really? Really? That sounds kind of unbelievable. And then he says, oh, well, you know, we send trucks in, and then Hamas comes and steals everything, and then they sell it to their people, and then they use the money to recruit more killers, which is, we've heard this lie a couple of different times, repackaged in different ways before. We know it's a goddamn lie. We know that Netanyahu is one of the most evil, disgusting motherfuckers of all time. Literally just a straight lie. But yeah, no, again, if you go online, if you go on any social media, probably stay away from most mainstream media outlets on this issue because they just glaze Israel. They just glaze Netanyahu. They do not care about the suffering of Palestinians. I have covered that many times on the channel here, right? This is a live article from Al Jazeera. Israel aid sites in starved Gaza a sadistic death trap. This is from yesterday. And we have a video here. We have a couple things we're going to go over here. But we have a video here that is pretty heartbreaking, I would say. I don't know if this is going to let me actually play this here. Palestinian journalist Anas al-Sharif. I am so sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. I probably butchered it. I do apologize. Breaks down after a woman on the street collapsed from hunger. So let's take a look at this video here.
مجمع الشفاء الطبي سقطت على الأرض من شدة المجاعة ومن شدة الجوع ومن شدة الجوع كما نشاهد الآن يحاول الأهالي التعامل مع هذه السيدة وهذا ما كنت أتحدث عنه قبل لحظات أن الناس يسقطون الآن في شوارع غزة من شدة الجوع يسقطون على الأرض من شدة الجوع وهذا المصاب الذي أصيب الآن لا يوجد له علاج وهذا حال المواطنين جميعا هنا في داخل القطاع يسقطون على الأرض واحد تلو الآخر يحتاجون إلى وجبة طعام واحدة يحتاجون إلى رغيف خبز واحد يحتاجون إلى شربة ماء.
And I believe the rest of the video is just a little bit of like background information on this journalist here. But as you could tell by that clip, Anas's tone of voice, was, I mean, you could just tell by his tone of voice how saddened, how horrified, how heartbroken, how crushed he is to see something like that right in front of him. And that's just something that got caught on camera, right? That's happening. I'm sure that that's happened to a countless amount of Palestinians. Again, the tone in his voice, that was a really hard clip to get through, in my opinion, right? If you watch that and you don't feel bad or you don't have some type of sympathy for that woman that collapsed, or you don't say, hey, you know, this is kind of fucked up, or actually really fucked up, and this shouldn't be happening, you're an evil, soulless ghoul. And the point I'm trying to make with all of this here, you know, with the Nelk stuff and this, Israel's goal, they do not care about hostages, right? They do not care about the Palestinian people. One could make an argument that they don't even, never mind. The point I'm trying to make is all of this military, if that's what you want to call it, operations, which is literally just Israel doing terrorism. All of these terrorist acts that Israel has committed against the Palestinians since October 7th, but not just since October 7th, since long, long before October 7th, their goal has always been to eradicate the Palestinian people. Start taking their land, start starving them, destroy their houses, destroy their hospitals, destroy churches, destroy all of this stuff. And there's actually something that I'm going to pull up here that I don't already have pulled up. But the point I'm trying to make is this has always been their goal, right? They want the Palestinian people to be eradicated. And on a channel like Nelk, for them to receive this amount of pushback from their own audience, because these are not a lot of random people, you know, normies, as the kids would say. Not a lot of normies are looking up the Full Send podcast, you know, on the daily or every week and being like, you know, I wonder what these guys are up to, you know, what are they doing, right? The public perception of Israel, in my opinion, looks like it's really starting to wane in terms of being favorable of Israel and being charitable of Israel and saying, oh, you know, Israel has a right to defend herself, this, that, and the third, right? Nelk 2015, funny prank channel. Nelk 2025, propaganda machine for governments. They are absolutely getting cooked. But another thing that, again, Can't find this fucking clip now. I don't know why. Media Matters posted a clip of Michael Knowles, everybody's favorite Daily Wire ghoul, pretty much saying that Netanyahu and Israel, you know, his support, he's kind of losing his support for them because recently they bombed a church. Israel bombed a church very recently. Again, I don't have any of this stuff pulled up, which I probably should have done that before I started filming. But on the heels of this disgusting Nelk podcast, the Palestinians being starved for months and months and months, on the heels of this, you have a new plan that was introduced in the Israeli government I believe this was today, that includes the following elements. 1.2 million Jews will relocate to Gaza. All Palestinians will be expelled. 300,000 housing units will be built. High-tech agriculture and education centers will be built. And I think that this tweet says it pretty good. This was never about defeating Hamas or getting back the hostages. It was always about the destruction of the Palestinian people to establish greater Israel. And that is 100% hits the nail on the head. If you guys are someone that spends a lot of time online, if you are someone who knows people, if you are, you know, involved in this stuff in any type of way other than just, you know, maybe viewing to just, you know, retain information. If you see Zionists, if you see people pushing misinformation, if you see people saying misinformation, disinformation, whatever it is, push back on it. Please, please, please. That is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, is because Nelk, who again, never been a fan of, do not give a shit about Nelk. If they want to make shitty fucking brain rot, garbage, fucking rat gutter content, they have every right to do that, right? But this is not that. These guys have 2.1 million subscribers on this channel. They have a responsibility, especially when, and they actually went on Hassan's stream last night after the massive backlash and were literally looked like they were going to shit they probably were shitting their pants in the middle of the stream, but they went on Hassan's stream in an attempt to do damage control, which I don't have any of that pulled up, but if you guys want to go and look at it for yourself, it's pretty funny that, because they clearly have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, it's funny in the context of watching them look like they're shitting their pants, not, you know, them platforming one of the most evil, vile people that has ever existed. The modern-day incarnation of Hitler, as Hassan said in the stream yesterday when he was talking to these two individuals. They have a responsibility, right? If you have any type of platform online, if you have any type of pull, if you have any type of following, if you have any type of power, whatever word or phrase or whatever you want to say, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to your audience. You have a responsibility to be honest. You have a responsibility to use your platform to at least try and do a little bit of good. And the Nelk Boys here fucking failed miserably. And they deserve all of the hate. They deserve all of the backlash. They deserve every single mean comment, whatever it is that they're getting, whatever this shit is. They deserve all of it because they allowed, again, one of the most evil people to come on their podcast, do just as much propaganda as he possibly wanted, say as much nasty and vile things at the Palestinians as he wanted, lie as much as he wanted, and they didn't push back at all. They didn't question him. They didn't do anything at all. Lazy, disgusting, and evil. That's what that is. And that is where I am actually going to leave this video. I know I kind of jumped around all over the place. This video wasn't structured too well. Didn't have everything that I should have had pulled up. And I do apologize for that. That being said, that is going to be it for this video. And guys, please, let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments. Let me know what you thought of my coverage. Let me know what you thought of the Nelk Boys over here. They also have a beer brand called Happy Dad. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that brand. I don't know if they sell it in grocery stores that are near you. I don't know actually where they sell it at all because I've never seen it in the store before. But if you see Happy Dad brand, don't buy it. Fuck Nelk. But like I said, that is going to be it for this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one.